India has clocked over 75 million vaccine jabs in the month of August. This achievement in our struggle against the virus is symbolic of a traditional resilience which manifests itself in the time of crisis. The milestone that we have achieved so far has numerous importance attached to it. It was just a year ago that this entire talk about vaccines seemed more of like a fantasy to everyone. People knew that vaccines might come, but they weren't really sure and specific about when or whether the vaccines would be able to protect the public effectively and efficiently from the coronavirus. Vaccine skepticism was the precursor then, which was followed by vaccine hesitancy. And now, an year later, when we talk about the vaccines, not only have the vaccines reached the public in bulk, but they have also been proved to be the perfect ones. Timely enough to foil a potential third wave of the virus, which looked set to be triggered by the continued festering of clusters in certain parts of the country. As of the midnight on 14th of August, 422 million Indians had been vaccinated with at least one dose, which represents over one-third of the total population of the country and close to half of all the adults in the country. The vaccine production is rising consistently in the country with a steady distribution system which is matching its pace. In July 2021, the production target was 120 million doses, against which India administered 133 million doses. In August, the monthly production target is 150 million doses, and against this, the tally in the first 14 days itself has already crossed the halfway mark, with still about half of the month left to go. This, in all the probability, means that India would overshoot the 150 million mark by a fair bit before the end of the month itself. According to the available information, at present, if we see, a gap does persist between the daily rates of the first and second doses. But this is primarily a function of the high vaccination cycle, which was set in late June and will start closing in September. At present, there is also a wide spread for vaccine coverage achieved by different states. However, as identified, this disparity is a mixture of legacy gaps in public health infrastructures, large rural demographics, and constrained vaccine supplies, which are being covered up on war footing by various administrations of the states. West Bengal, Bihar, and Uttar Pradesh are still edging past the 30% mark for the first doses, while states such as Gujarat, Kerala have already inoculated over 60%. And this spread naturally widens if we take a look at the full coverage. The chart on the screen shows that a number of states are still on the single digits, while a few like Kerala, Gujarat, and Delhi have fully vaccinated over one-fifth of their adults. We must, however, also pay attention to the fact that these standings will improve significantly in the coming month as the vaccine rollout ramps up. The implication so far is that the gaps would narrow down in September. Most importantly, though, the principal finding of this mid-month review is that all of the states and union territories are well on track towards meeting their monthly targets. The data shows that all the states were nearly the halfway mark or passed before it before the half of the month was over. The inference is that all states will cross their August month targets ahead of the provided schedule, given that the vaccine supplies continue to be on trend. Concluding this, with the data, it is quite evident that the largest vaccination drive is what is permitting India to lift up all the lockdown restrictions so that the economy may grow once more, while at the very same time providing protection from the clusters which continue to fester in some of the states of the country due to administrative inefficiency. Also, the fact that over 99% of the vaccines we receive are manufactured in India provides a reassuring homespun feel to all this commendable effort.